r/AskReddit. There's already enough Karen hate on the internet. What's a positive experience you've had with someone named Karen? Just yesterday, got a bunch of messages offering half of what I was asking for my Nintendo Switch. With BOTW and a BOTW controller, Karen didn't even make an offer, just paid in full. She even dug quarters out to make sure it was the full amount. She was super nice and seemed really excited to get it. Karen in elementary school stuck up for me when some kids were teasing me. Karen, my friend's mom, was lovely, always patient, and made amazing sandwiches. Karen at work is super nice, and even though she works in HR, is known for helping everyone work things out for their benefit, not just for companies. Thanks for the FMLA tip. Literally saved me thousands of dollars. I actually can't think of a Karen I know who isn't a nice person. My aunt's name is Karen. Growing up, she enrolled me in and paid for several different art classes. She always encourages me to be creative and express myself. The family joke is that she is my real mum. She's a big part of the reason I have a BFA degree, and we both still make art of all kinds to this day. The family joke is that she is my real mum. Is she your mum's younger sister? That might not be a joke. These things happen. I knew a Karen in middle homeroom. She was cool. One time the teacher told her she couldn't have soda unless she had soda for everyone. So the next day Karen comes waltzing in with her friends and everyone's carrying 12 packs. Soda for days. Teacher was dumbfounded and much soda was had that day. Thanks, Karen. Typical defiance to authority and the rise of a Karen. I ordered food from Uber Eats out of desperation on Christmas Eve because I'd forgotten to go grocery shopping. Karen really came through with my sushi. Thanks, Karen. My ex-colleague Karen brought in cupcakes for my birthday and we've stayed in touch since I moved on to pastures new. I even attended her recent wedding. Hands down. Nicest Karen I've ever met. My grandma is named Karen. Obsessed with puzzles and word games and owls, and once let my brother videotape her saying shit or duck IDR because he thought it was hilarious to see her, a clean, non-sweary person, use vulgar language. Oh my god, my grandma Karen loves Scrabble and all sorts of puzzles and games. I love playing with her. My best friend's mom is Karen. She let me and my 3-month-old stay at her house and use her car when I flew into town when my brother was in the ICU. She changed my life through that experience and I consider her a second mom now. She helped me through 2 funerals and never forget my kids' birthdays or misses a chance to see us. She knitted them homemade stockings for Christmas and it's by far the most amazing and selfless woman I know. 70-year-old co-worker. She adored me. At 73 she retired. Told me to come down with her on her last day. Her husband pulled up in a new Mustang convertible. She said, I've waited over 40 years for this. They drive all over America and find weird festivals and landmarks and updates everything on Facebook. Recently she ate chocolate dipped bison meatloaf on a stick because duck it. She's living her best life after years of corporate servitude. She's honestly one of my best friends. I'm only 37. I had a really painful experience with returning something at Target once not too long ago with an incompetent teen at customer service. And I'm totally not that guy, but I had no choice because this dude was just in his own world and had no idea how to work the computer. I asked politely, look, is there a manager that can do this? It might be easier for us both. He looked kind of relieved. Who walks out but a middle-aged white lady who literally had the bob cut hair and caked up makeup like we have all seen on the memes. Her name tag, it says Karen. I think to myself, holy shit, the manager is Karen. Who the hell saw this coming? She was delightful and had me out in minutes with my refund. Even complimented one of my tattoos and was inquiring about my opinion on her idea for a tattoo. All said and done, Karen the manager was excellent. I totally forgot that Karens can also be the ones that hear, can I please speak to the manager? Edit. Thanks for the coin. We are breaking the cycle of Karen. My grandma's name was Karen. She passed away about 6 months ago. She was the most kind and selfless person I've ever known. Sorry for your loss. They don't call them gran for nothing. My preschool teacher was named Karen and is basically a fusion of Karen and good guy Greg. So, she wants to talk to the manager so she can compliment his work. Best friend growing up, Karen. Best friend as an adult, a different Karen. Love my Karen so much that I almost named my daughter Karen, although now I am glad for her sake that I didn't. But I bless the day my Karens were born and cannot imagine two better women. May their days be long and happy. My neighbor as a child, she always exchanged well wishes and let me play with her dogs and watch them on trips when I was older. The brewery I used to work at was owned by a little old lady named Karen, and she was honestly one of the nicest people I've ever met. Efficient, but nice. She's my mother and it's spelled with an I. She raised myself and my brother by herself and put herself through nursing school at KU, while she was pregnant with a 4.0 and honors. She's a hospice and home health nurse, but she's done almost everything else, who if you don't know takes care of the sick and dying. She went through a double mastectomy and went right back to helping people as soon as she could. She treats all my friends like family and her patients as well. I've seen her many times leave at 3 AM just to bring food to someone friend, family, or patient if they didn't have any. All the other nurses she works with do the very bare minimum and just leave. She literally is working 16 hours a day most every day and she's 59. Anyway, I just love my mom and want her to actually live instead of just working to survive. She's the greatest person I will ever know and I'd die for her in a heartbeat. Love you, mom. I'm a real estate agent. Did my first deal with another agent named Karen. We got on well and I was shocked that people are friendly in the business. As a Karen, I'm loving this thread. Hope the Karen hate dies off soon. Honestly, all of the Karens I know are lovely people. None of the people I know who are Karens are actually named Karen. Used to be a professional figure skater. I was good, but I got to the point where if I wanted to go even further with the sport I would need to train more and more training equals more lessons with specialized coaches which costs a lot more than you would expect. My family just couldn't afford it. One day a coach that worked in the rink I went to saw me skating, met with me a few times, then told me and my family that after that she wanted to teach me for free or for half off at most. She was an excelled coach. World never made it as far as I did without that Karen. My mom is Karen. Totally not a typical Karen. In my entire life she pulled a Karen type move once and left a restaurant once when it was too slow to bring us menus. We hadn't even ordered anything. My sisters and I were flabbergasted when she said duck this and got up and left. She is the sweetest and nicest lady ever. Everyone who has ever met her says that. She adopts any kids who needs help in their lives. And still talk to a few of my and my sister's exes BC they were close and they needed mother figures in their lives. In my entire life she pulled a Karen type move once and left a restaurant once when it was too slow to bring us menus. No, this is not a Karen move. This is a reasonable move. A Karen would never just leave without complaining to the manager first. My sister-in-law's name is Karen. She thinks I'm crazy and she's off the charts introverted, but she puts up with me for my brother's sake. What a sweetheart. The one on my favorite murder seems pretty chill. I was looking for a fellow murderino to pitch in. An elderly woman named Karen came into my shop one Saturday night for the first time. She and I struck up a conversation and I gave her some samples to take home to her husband. Ever since then, for at least the last 8 or 9 months, she comes in weekly on my shifts to talk to me and catch up on life. She recently moved to Arizona for the colder months and I won't see her again until July, but she did come by the day she left, and she brought her husband to meet me. He told me that she talks about me all the time and really looks forward to our visits. I guess I have a new friend now. Edit. I forgot to mention we also cook for each other. I make soups, pickles, and tamales that she likes and she brings me macaroons, cakes, and pie, and even trade, I'd say. The lovely lady that works in the cafe of the campus. She memorized all the students' names. Small university and asks all of us how our families and lives are. She takes the time to learn about the students and will occasionally surprise me with a strawberry and pineapple smoothie, my favorite, every other Friday before I head to class. Those days when I have a test. Her name is Karen and she is very much aware of the meme regarding others of her namesake. My sister, Karen, saved me from drowning. My intervention teacher's name is Karen. She's a really sweet person and she tries her best to help everyone. My grandma is named Karen and she's the nicest woman in the entire world. I could live for 200 years, I would never get to her level of generosity, forgiveness, and unconditional love. Every experience with her is amazing. My mom's name was Karen. Apparently she tried to sell the house my dad bought behind his back and threatened divorce several times when she found out he was doing cocaine. I didn't know almost any of this at the time because they kept their major fights away from my sister and I as far as I remember. They never actually divorced. My dad loved her despite all that. Anyway, she taught me how to read and to think critically about things, I think at a pretty young age for it at least. She was apparently always teaching me big words. I don't know that I'm that eloquent most days, but I have vague yet positive memories of her teaching me to read some here and there. I remember when I really wanted some toy I literally just saw at the store as I walked by it and asked her why she couldn't buy it. I couldn't have been more than 5 years old, but she explained to me that we couldn't afford to buy it right then. That things cost money and you need certain amounts for other things. I don't know what it was about it, but somehow I was receptive enough to actually understand enough to not constantly ask for things at the store. She'd comfort me when I was sad and I don't remember how, but she could be a really good mother sometimes. Somehow, she'd make me mashed potatoes every time I was sick, because I asked her to because it always made me feel a bit better. She passed away when I was 9. I don't remember much, but have a pretty positive impression of her in my head. So she must have been incredible, right? My stepdad's mother is named Karen. She is one of the very few people in the family who welcomed me as a 2-year-old with open arms. She instantly loved me like her own granddaughter and is such an amazing woman. She is now great grandma to my sons and they love her just as much as I do. She is an amazing, loving, big-hearted woman who may have some crazy ideas, but would do anything for anyone. I couldn't imagine life without her. Bro, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.